Hey guys, Lightus here, and in today's video I want to talk about Genshin Impact characters, and in particular I want to talk about their lore, so I will tell you interesting facts about every single one of them. I hope you enjoy. Now let's begin with Albedo. Albedo had a master by the name of Ryan who left him after they both discovered an artifact that could have possibly contained a link to one of the gods known as the Heart of Neberus. However, before her departure, Albedo was left with one final note from his master. Within it was written, "Your final assignment, show me the truth and the meaning of this world." Aloy traversed a great many ruins from the distant past and ultimately discovered her origin. She was not born of human flesh and blood, but was the result of cloning. Amber is the only remaining member within Outriders for Knights of Pavonius, after her grandfather, once a loyal defender of Mondstadt, vanished into a thin air. Even after he disappeared, she still defends Mondstadt in his place. Ito, as a child, always had a strong sense of pride within his heritage. However, it all changed after one day his family was falsely accused of robbery that occurred within the village they resided in and chased out with simple words to accompany them. Once an Oni, always an Oni, which caused Ito to be left on the streets shortly after his parents' passing due to illness. Starved, beaten, and lonely, the Crimson Oni was left to fend off for himself until one day a kind-hearted human woman extended her hand and offered to take care of an unknown mighty troublemaker. Barbara feels inferior to her big sister Jean, thinking everything she's done is of inferior nature to the acting grandmaster, and strives to do something that surpasses Jean's deeds at least once. But no matter how hard she tried, her efforts never paid off, as she could not overcome Jean in any way, even till present day. Beidou is known as the uncrowned lord of the ocean for her great strength, capable of slaying the Leviathan Haishan without the aid of a vision. Bennett was found by an old adventurer that referred to him as a child abandoned by the world itself. After short passing of said adventurer, the boy was raised by old members of Adventurers Guild that had no families of their own, to whom he refers as dads, even to this day. Candace often buys all kinds of trinkets from merchants who visit Aru village. However, she doesn't wear them as her duties as the guardian do not allow fragile objects to be worn recklessly, so she simply stores them deep within her wardrobe, awaiting for a moment of rest to try them on, or simply gives them as a show of goodwill to her friends. Chongyun was born into a renowned family of exorcists and has possessed a natural ability to drive away evil spirits from a young age. Due to his pure young spirit, his powers of exorcism are far beyond the norm. His mere presence is sufficient to scatter evil spirits. Collie often helps the children in Gunfire Villa, Mentoys, and her forest rangers colleagues also occasionally ask her to help patch their clothes when they get torn up by branches. Sino is a fairly relaxed outside of academia duties, being an avid fan of Genius Invocation trading card game, as well as an exceptionally humorous individual. His jokes garner quite a spectacle from his fellow colleagues, whom agreed to always laugh at them no matter what, as to avoid the follow-up explanations of how said jokes are indeed quite clever. Dilek is not fond of alcohol, as he does not like its taste and that it clouds his mind when he tries to work. He prefers non-alcoholic drinks, such as grape juice and apple cider, which he had ordered developed upon his return to Mondstadt from his wandering journey of pursuing Futui for 4 years after his father's passing. Diona dislikes alcohol and tries her best to destroy wine industry as a whole within Mondstadt. However, she was gifted by one of her friends, Spring Fairy, a blessing of magic touch that makes all of her drinks delicious, regardless of how noxious the ingredients used are, and Diona herself is unaware of this. Dori used to suffer terribly from insomnia. After visiting countless doctors, she one day found the solution, which was an hourglass that instead of sand was filled with Mora, after which, embraced by the music of jingling Mora, Dori slept soundly at last. Eula, as a young child, was forced by her family to learn noble etiquette as part of an educational regime so harsh that it is considered borderline abusive. Despite being a noble, she tries her best to change her fate on a daily basis and prove to everyone that she is her own woman, going as far as to declare that if situation calls for it, she would destroy her own clan without a second thought, even if they thought about endangering Mondstadt. Fischl is known for speaking in a very eccentric manner, which led to adventurers within Mondstadt creating and circulating a book by name of Fischl Dictionary, which in particular aims to simplify Fischl's peculiar choice of words to the best of its ability. Ganyu is very sensitive about her horns, weight, and childhood, becoming visibly flustered when any of these three are mentioned in front of her. Goru is fond of sweets due to their rarity in military life, as well as mountaineering, as it builds strength and camaraderie, but avoids onions as it is implied to be poisonous to him. Hu Tao, as a 3-year-old, would read through volumes of classic texts while doing handstands. At 6, she would cut classes and fall asleep in coffins. When she was 8, she started living in the parlor and learning the etiquette of funeral ceremonies. Jean, as an acting grandmaster within Knights of Favonius, had a large responsibility to bear on her shoulders. However, she has a secret, which is her passion for romance novels, whereas melancholy being her favorite, one as well as often dreaming about being able to experience said romance firsthand, even if just once. Kazuha has a very poetic side to him. He enjoys penning haikus in his spare time and is easily inspired, though he claims to not be especially talented at it. Kaya is surprisingly popular among the elderly of Mondstadt, even earning himself the title of top candidate for a grandson-in-law. His charisma and determination have earned him the admiration, respect, and favor of many people in Mondstadt, yet his love for provoking others has also gained him the exasperation of those same people. Ayaka. Ayaka, as one of the nobles within Inazuma, has a large burden to uphold of being a role model to everyone. However, though she has never told anyone this, Ayaka treasures her time as an ordinary girl above all else, for these moments of freedom are things she rarely ever has. Iota. Iota has a strong preference for dogs, as he values loyalty and obedience above all else, due to numerous times his own life was in danger, hence why he values those two traits so much, to protect himself from rival clans and organizations. Kichin. If Kichin sees something that needs doing, why, she'll do it herself. For example, she once served for 2 months as a laborer to better decide how to refine a plan to improve their treatment. In particular, she has pulled carts at the chasm, rammed earth at South Wharf, and waited tables and small diners. Klee. Klee acts like a typical energetic young child who loves playing with her friends. Unfortunately, her definition of playing usually involves explosives. She is particularly fond of fish blasting, tossing bombs into lakes full of fish. Sarah. Sarah enjoys quick and easy feeling foods, but dislikes sweets because they put her at ease, something which she finds unfitting for her duties. Cookie Shinobu. Shinobu is on poor terms with her parents, as they had forced her to become a shrine maiden in her youth, and felt that they did not care for her well-being along with loathing the job, which led her to wear a mask as to not get others involved in her personal affairs. Lisa. Lisa loves tea and thinks that afternoon tea is the most important part of her day, as well as also having a peculiar phobia of pumpkins. Mona. Being obsessed with astrology gives Mona a sense of pride, but this also serves as a double-edged sword, as any mora she gets her hands on is immediately spent on astrology-related materials, regardless of its cost. Ningguang. Ningguang makes use of a large intelligence network and pawns to gain the information she needs, and will only make use of people whose weakness she knows. Noelle. Once upon a time, Noelle successfully driven out a Sneznaya spy that was aiming to overthrow Mondstadt's wine industry and replace it with his own products, by simply doing her duties as a maid too diligently, and gathering all information of said merchant and his family, which led to merchant being paranoid and in panic flee Mondstadt. This left Noelle confused and upset. However, she saved entire Mondstadt unintentionally without even realizing it. Chichi. Although zombies have to be issued orders when awoken, because Chichi has done so herself, she is a rare case. She has to give herself orders to perform her duties. These duties cannot be cancelled, and she must either finish the task or be forced to cancel it by hugging her with enough sincerity. Raiden Shogun and A. The Shogun thinks of herself as A's assistant, and does exactly as she wishes, no more and no less. She cannot act without A's direction, and if her usual functions are disabled, the Shogun becomes incapable of doing anything. While A has a more stern demeanor than the average person, she is notably more emotive and sociable than a Shogun. Unlike Shogun, A has preferences, such as a love for sweets and her passion in martial arts. Razor is honest and forthright due to his limited exposure to human life. He is not used to speaking and only speaks in short phrases and words, finding it troublesome, but he continues nonetheless. Rosaria. Despite her position in the church, Rosaria is the least devoted. She is always guaranteed to skip all church activities when possible and the first one to leave if she is forced to attend. While she does recite prayers, she does not remember Venti's Archon name due to her lack of devotion, frequently mispronouncing his name. Kokomi is a skilled strategist that thinks of all potential scenarios and how to handle them as the result of reading plenty of military books, although she also enjoys casual reading. Sai does not like it when people pat her head, believing that the doing so would hinder her growth. However, she tolerates head pats from both the Traveler and Yamiko, although the latter is out of fear of retaliation by Zaguchi. Shenhe often contemplates the most violent means to eliminate others and is almost always easy to anger, obliterating her surroundings whenever her emotions get the best of her. Hazel, despite calling himself a detective and serving the Tenryu Commission, Hazel's investigations revolve around his personal principles and appear to be unrelated to any government duty, which makes his superior Kujasara dislike him for this, but keep him nonetheless, as he always brings back results. Sucrose. Due to spending most of her time researching and experimenting, Sucrose is a recluse. She has trouble talking with others, as she frequently worries about unintentionally offending them. Child. Because of his pride, Child is exceptionally reliable at accomplishing the tasks that were given to him, no matter how difficult they may be, or even if they have to go against his values. This, combined with his straightforward nature, makes him rather easy to manipulate. Toma places great loyalty on the Kamisato clan. Despite his easygoing appearance, he shows no mercy to those who threaten the Kamisato siblings and the Yashiro Commission. He does not use his connections for personal gains either, which represents his loyalty to the extreme. Tanari is highly knowledgeable about various species of both plants and animals, particularly flowers. He has very sensitive ears, being susceptible to loud noises, heavy wind and thunder. He is also not fond of the desert, claiming that it's too hot for him. Aether and Lumine. Their personality can range from stoic, humble, and helpful to boastful, lazy, and short-tempered, regardless of the player's in-game decisions. All of the playable characters view the Traveler in a positive light. Venti enjoys roaming around Mondstadt playing songs to his people, most of whom are unaware of his true identity as Barbatos. He is very well liked due to his musical talent, having won the title Most Popular Bard of Mondstadt 3 times in a row. Ling. Unlike most cooks, Ling is not concerned about mora, stating that food is to nourish and that the smiles on her customers' faces is more than enough for her. She dislikes having to limit herself to a specific style of cooking, seeing it as bland and unsurprising. Xiao. Unlike most of the Adepti, Xiao is not particularly fond of most human foods, although he makes exceptions to almond tofu and later grilled tiger fish, the former reminding him of the dreams he used to consume and the latter to honor Parvas's memory. Shincho has a strong sense of justice and was able to revitalize the Guha clan despite being one of its younger members. He despises those who resort to underhanded methods or badmouth chivalrous heroes. Zhengyan does not have any formal training for her music, having learned it herself on the go. As such, she is very supportive of others who show interest even if they have no experience. Yamiko. When speaking with outsiders or close friends, Yamiko shows a blunter and more cynical side of her. Miko does not mince words, even towards her friends and master, A. Being a kitsune, she is fond of fried tofu, however, hates pickled foods of all sorts. Yanfei. Despite having the blood of an adeptus in her veins, Yanfei is not particularly concerned about her adeptal heritage, and is one of the few who did not sign a contract with Rex Lapis due to being born in an era of peace. Yellen. In the presence of others, Yellen is said to be very pleasant and polite. When alone, she is said to show a far different side of her as an extremely reliable, powerful, and intelligent woman. She also has a high tolerance for spice, eating raw or dried junior chilies, after deeming Ling's spiciest dish not enough for her. She dislikes sweets, claiming that they're too easy to get addicted to and disrupts focus. Yoimiya is somewhat of a fast speaker, and despite being the primary provider of fireworks, is also known to be quite reckless and unprepared, having been scolded by the city's fire brigade numerous times and noted by Amenoma Togo to always make last-minute preparations. Yunjin. While appearing to be refined and graceful in formal occasions, Yunjin is also known to be exceptionally friendly in private. She draws inspiration from many sources for her plays. She enjoys a wide variety of special drinks as one of her pastimes, and she can write a play about one if she enjoys it. And lastly, Zhongli. Zhongli tends to forget about Mora in transactions, agreeing to spend large sums of it without having any Mora on hand, and even taking discounts. As granted, despite being an obvious scam, he often ends up relying on his acquaintances for financial support, such as Wansheng Funeral Parlor or Child. Although he works for Hu Tao, he does not like her childish behavior. That should do it, guys. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on any of the particular characters. I was Light, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!